Welcome to the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. From a haunted abandoned asylum to Sasquatch lurking in the dark woods and watching you, and all things unexplained, here are the stories from outside our realm. With your host, Bill Rigby.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're here again tonight. It's another Wednesday. Believe it or not, we're halfway through November. Wow, this month's going quick. Almost turkey time. Speaking of turkeys, Bigfoot likes turkeys. How do I know that? I found turkey bones and feathers. And I bet this person I'm going to have on is going to even say this much about it. He is a Bigfoot knower. He has the Ohio Bigfoot researchers. That group grew tremendously, faster than my group ever did. Him and his wife both got a great group. Let me bring Tim on. There he is.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Tim. So here's the thing. It's almost Thanksgiving. Bigfoot likes turkeys. Am I right?
I'd say pretty well, yeah. They like anything they can catch.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Yeah, with all honesty, that I did find up in Indiana County a thing of turkey bones and a turkey feather. One feather with all these turkey bones all stacked neatly together. It was really weird. Actually, that's when I went on to this investigation where Nikki Pollard had her sighting, and that's where I found out at. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying about it. November, halfway over. But anyhow, brother, like I said, as I was introducing you, you and Renee started the Ohio Bigfoot Researchers. That group.
Yeah, in 2022, in October, I think it was.
How many members you got right now?
30.9K.
Jesus. Growing.
Yeah, amazing.
Yep. It just leaps and bounds, and that's impressive.
We're no BS group, so a lot of people they enjoy the truth.
Exactly, and you and me and Renee became good friends from my first camp out. Actually, before that, when I was at the Sosby ones, you guys came down.
Yeah.
And but we became good friends at my first camp out there at Saltport. And like Renee says, her Bigfoot brother. And you guys are Bigfoot brother and sister to me too.
Yeah. You're just like family.
Yep. And you had a bunch of pictures you wanted to show me, but you didn't have them with you.
Yeah, I forgot them the first time.
Yes. The second time you had them with you and says, here, I'm telling you, I wasn't lying to you. I says, Tim, I know you wasn't lying to me. You said you'll show me when you bring them the next time, and here they are. And I started looking. Some great pictures you had there. And those pictures were from Salt Fork. Am I right?
Yep.
Mainly down around Hozaks.
Yep.
And the reason I'm saying it like that, folks, is because, number one, they took a couple people out with them and that wanted to see them. They believe, they know they're out there. They got to see them, thanks to Tim and Renee. You know who I'm talking about, Tim.
Yeah, Debbie and Diane, and
Yep.
I don't remember what the boy's name was. He come with Mary. But yeah, we took him down there. I told him, I said, I ain't gonna promise you nothing, but
Yep.
I'll take you where I've seen them. And so happened she was sitting there that day with her baby, and they got all of them got pictures, and Debbie got a video of it.
Yes. Hey, Diane says, thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hi, Diane. Glad to see you out there.
Diane.
Yeah. That's the thing. You guys have seen them several times there.
Probably 12 at least 12 times there.
Yeah. And up there at the handicap area, you spotted that big one in, Trent. That's it. Trenton. You're right, Tara. That's his name. And you got Beth to see that one.
Beth and Barb, and I put you on the one that went down behind the bathrooms down to the other pavilion.
Yeah. Yep. And Diane goes, great experience. My first class A sighting.
Great.
The first time I went to Salt Fork, you heard me say this. I was not expecting to see a damn thing. And I ain't gonna lie. I really wasn't. I was hoping to hear the how, because I heard how everyone goes to Salt Fork. You don't know what you're going to see or hear because so many people go. I don't ever want to experience it that close ever again. I don't care. I don't care. That was enough for this old guy. I'd like to see him again. Hey, that's no lie, but not that close. What's the closest?
The closest one we ever had to us?
Yeah.
Well, it lies between two different events. The one was at the handicap when that 11 or 12 footer come out there. It got within 30 feet of us in the grass as we was sitting at the restrooms.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We watched it for, at least 10 to 15 minutes. It just stood there, and then it kept slipping closer every time I'd turn away from it. Then it got within, like I say, 30 foot. And then that's when it started growling at us. And that's when I said, well, it's time to go.
Time to get on out there.
Yeah. I can't move too quick. And the car was just as far away from me as he was close to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, with the one I saw, it's like, oh, shit. 15 feet. No. But, very happy it was not aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one down there, the handicap, it kept smelling because somebody had been there just before us. And the grill was still red, the charcoal in it, and they cooked out on it, and it was smelling that cooked food. And they wanted to come check it out.
Yeah, exactly. And well, at the group camp area there, that's a very active area. They're in and around it all the time.
Yep.
We had a very active spring there this past April.
Oh yeah.
What was that? 5 prints, 7 sightings, or 7 prints and 5 sightings, something like that.
It was 7 prints and like 5 sightings that weekend.
Yeah, and not all in the same area.
No, that was all over the park.
Yeah, so
There was two prints casted right. One big footprint casted there by the Buckeye Trail, which Renee casted it, and then
yep,
there was a handprint casted right in the camp area behind. Oh, I can't remember their names, but they drove
Randy and
that big.
Mary. Randy and
Yeah,
Mary.
yeah, there was a handprint there in the ground, but it wasn't a Bigfoot.
No,
It,
we think that's Dog Man.
yeah, it had triangle finger claws.
Yep. Think that was the Dog Man because number
Yep,
one, that dog figure that got captured on a picture running
yep,
between mine and Mike Hartman's two
yeah. That
camps
was the
side by
next
side.
night. That was the next night.
Yes.
The first
Yep.
night it was digging behind their camper.
Oh, Tara says she was with Renee when she casted that one Renee did. She
Yeah,
was with her. So cool. Uh, I know it was Amy Copeland's been having all kind of activity there and finding prints and that uh, all summer long.
yeah,
You know, it's just been a really, really active year there. It makes it very interesting.
yep,
You know, um, I think Teresa Flair was with them, Teresa and Sandy. I know Miss Elizabeth, Diane was there um, when they were all getting these different casts, I believe. And it was interesting.
yep,
It, you know, because even though I don't say much on other ones, other groups, I still watch and see what's being posted because I'm trying to do 10 things at once.
yeah. The week before I think it was 3 days before the 2023 Ohio conference is when Amy casted them on the beach there. I think she got like 5 or 6 castings.
Oh, okay. But I thought that was after.
No, that was just 2 to 3 days before that because they raked the beach before the conference.
That's right. You're right. You're right. Um, yeah, I forgot about that part. You're right. And which is awesome.
Yeah,
Um, and I was at the conference. Everybody and their damn brother was there too. So it's not worth going out in the woods and checking anything out there. Um,
yeah. We just come down there for that one day for a few hours.
yeah. Uh, I'll be there again this year, setting up again. Hey, all right. I got to throw this out there. My man and my other man is out here watching. Sean Porker and Baker. They must be doing their dinner. Hey, Sean, you see, Tim, I got to back us out so Sean can see this.
All right.
I had to do that. Sean made that. Uh, and I added the outskirts of it. Uh, but yeah. Oh, actually, that night, Beth, Barb, who else was up there with us?
Well, there was about 30 up there at night. There was
Barbara.
yeah, Barb and your wife, and then there was Mary and a bunch of others. Then there was Judy from our group. That was her first time being at any of the Bigfoot outings, and she was there and she got to see it.
Yes, and that was just a wild night.
Yep.
And Now, I'm planning on another one this April, end of April, in that area. Exact dates, I'm not sure. We won't know till the first of the year. I know April 27th, I'll be in Butler, PA. So it can't be that weekend. But we'll be there again this coming April.
Well, hopefully we get to make it.
Yeah. If everything works out right, you'll be there. I know that.
Yeah.
And I hope you make it because I know some people want to go out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know
I
that.
try to go. I try to take everybody I can while I'm there for the weekends.
You do. And you know just about where everything's going.
Yep.
Thank you, Mark. Mark Eddy. He does a podcast too. He says he's enjoying the show.
Thank you.
Now, the most important question of them all. And I want a straight up answer.
All right. You know I will.
I know. Where's the wife?
She's at church right now.
Oh, okay. I was going
to
say.
Her and the daughter and the grandson went to church.
Because I was going to say, she didn't pop in and say hi.
Yeah, they're at church.
Maybe you told them to go hide in the other room.
No, it was church night, and she decided to take them with us so I could be able to do this podcast in peace.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, there goes the other question. Where's the grandson at? I got to say hi.
He's at church looking at the speakers. He's fascinated with PA speakers.
Oh, that's good. That'll keep him occupied.
He wants to buy them all.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Here we go again. But, okay. You got him staying there with you now. You got him out. You got... He's going to be our future researcher.
Oh, he loves it. He didn't want to leave that day. But I had to get him out of there because I didn't know if it was safe to have him around as him being autistic.
Hi, Virginia. Hi, Johnny. I heard so many different stories where they're very protective of kids and kids with handicaps.
Well, I think that's the reason they draw to me so much is because of my handicap of eyesight.
Yeah. So I truthfully believe that they are drawn closer to kids and kids with handicap, and they're more protective. I might be wrong, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, they tend to go to areas where there is kids.
Yes. Like that kid that was lost in the woods there a few years ago, that little kid, and said a big hairy bear kept them for 3 days.
That wasn't no bear.
No, I don't think so either.
Bear would have ate him.
Yes and no. A little bit, little kid, and they probably protect them. Or a bear would avoid it, a little kid. I don't think, black bears, they try to avoid humans unless you start messing with their babies. We have them run from us all the time when we're out there in the woods and come across them. And we had one in the city of Sharon when the cop told me, go and get inside that house there. I know the guy, but I ain't that good of friends with him. I ain't going in his house. We'll go up on the porch. You don't know what that bear is going to do. I said, it's hiding in the bushes. because he sees all these people around. I said, as soon as the game warden gets here and they go walking up to tranquilize it, it's going to run up the tree. He says, how do you know? I says, you ever gone to the woods? No. And then get your ass in the cruiser and shut up. I know what I'm talking about. Guess what? I was right.
Yeah.
And that cop just looked at me like, but all right, let's get back to some of your sightings. Now, the one area you go to before you moved.
That's
how many times did you see
Willard Marsh area?
Yeah. How many times did you see something in there?
Well, over the years, probably several. But since I got into doing this investigating and researching of the Bigfoot, we've probably been out there 7 times, and we probably had interaction 5 of the 7 times.
Okay. Now, when you're saying interactions, what do you mean by that?
Well, they walk right in front of us in the woods. You can hear them clearly walking. And then you'll get glimpses of them looking around trees at you. We found a footprint there. I've got pictures of ones looking around trees at me. I got a picture of one that was probably 30 foot from looking out of a thicket at me.
Now that's interesting. I know possibly seen one out at the reservoir when Jim Sparks and Jamie King and I was there. And we were, I'm looking through my phone at it, taking pictures. You see something there, like a shadow or something, looking around this tree. And then the next picture wasn't there.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell for sure if it was a Bigfoot. But where it was at on the tree, I expect it was. Suspect. I'm not saying for sure, I suspect.
Well, anything above 6 foot tall is not a deer.
No.
And most places don't have bears, so.
Well, we got some here.
And bears, they're not going to stand right up beside of a tree. They'll be on all fours and look around the tree.
Yep.
So that would only be about a 4 foot thing then.
Exactly. We're definitely so I can't say honestly it was or wasn't. The picture was not good enough to even share because people say, "Oh, you're seeing things paranoia." I don't play that. I do play. I will tell them, "Hey, I don't know."
Yeah.
Hello, Nikki. Nikki's out there. Hey, my big sister's out. Hi, Mary Beth. See, she's watching. Yeah, so what? Hell, I chased a 500-pound bear out of a fire trail the one time. And that thing stood over 4 foot tall on its all fours.
Yeah.
And that was up around Kane. A friend of mine had a hunting camp up there. We went up for the weekend. We started following and it started meandering just real slow. So I told my buddy, I said, watch this. He said, what are you going to do? And I start running and stomping my feet as I was running, and it took off.
Oh, yeah, you just got to make yourself look big.
If it would start turning and coming back at us, I would have been gone the other way. But out there in Shenango, the first time I actually talked to Jamie King, I was out there and I'm coming through this tree line where the brush is real heavy. and I can hear something walking beside me, and on the other side of that brush. Was it? I don't know. It was bipedal, but every time I stopped, it stopped, and it was a heavier steps that you can hear.
Yep.
I never saw it, and I'm like, So I messaged Jamie. Oh, you out here, Jamie? And I told him where I was at, and he's, if you happen to see it, don't look in the eyes. I said, I know that, but get out of there. It's stalking you. I went, I know that too. But yeah, so yeah, without seeing it, you don't know.
Yeah.
Sure what it was.
But the picture I got of the one looking through the thicket, this was just before it got dark. It was just dusky dark. And I mean, you can, in the picture, you can see it. You can see its eyes, its nose, its mouth. You can see the full face.
Yeah. And that's why I said, yeah, you do have a lot of great pictures. I've seen them, so I know.
Oh, I got a lot more you ain't seen.
Yes. Oh, I know. Believe me. But the thing is, we do know they're out there.
Yep.
We do know they avoid us like the plague, but they're curious at the same time.
Yep.
Do you think we will ever be able to intermingle with them like the natives used to?
It takes a lot. It'd take a lot of trust out of it. You'd have to get with one clan and build years and years of trust.
That I go with, because they don't trust humans.
Yep.
That's why they avoid us. I
Yeah.
do know.
Well, they see that everything that the humans do, they end up destroying it or killing it.
Yep. I ain't arguing that fact because that's the truth. Now, a lot of people heard me say this. I trust animals before I trust humans.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't trust very many people, especially if I don't know them.
Yeah.
Well, it's like this new guy that was in our group, Dave Robertson. He got in contact with me on Messenger and wanted to know where we lived and what area we did research in, because he's just east of us in a little place called New London.
Okay,
and I told him where he was, and I invited him over to that area where we used to live. And hey, I didn't know the man, so I always pack a weapon when I go out. And he comes up after we get out there, and he's like, "Man, I had the thoughts you're taking me down these back roads. I didn't know whether to trust you or not." I said, I already had that situation covered.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at my camp out. There's a lot of people I did not know at first, but 99.9% of them were all good people.
Yep.
And when I said from the get-go, when you come to my camp out, the drama and the BS and the egos stay outside the gate.
Exactly.
We're here to share what we know, and become friends, and work together, figure this mystery out.
Yep.
And I haven't had no problems at my campouts. Thank God.
No, yeah. you have great campouts. You and Mike both had great campouts.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, that is the only way to be, Virginia. We don't need the drama. We don't need the BS. We don't need the egos. We're all there to learn and figure everything out together and have the camaraderie. And that's how me and Tim met, was at my camp out. We started, actually, we met at Sosby, but they came to mine and we really became good friends then. Good.
Yep.
You bring the marshmallows. I got the graham crackers. Someone else can bring the chocolate.
S'mores.
Yep. But yeah, so now you guys just recently moved, and I'm not going to have people say where because that's beside the point. What I'm going to say is how active.
I've had them right in the backyard in town.
I will say this much. You're not the only one that has seen them in towns.
Yeah. Well, we live just on the we're in city limits, but if you go out just west of where I'm sitting at, about 200 feet, you're out of city limits, and there's a cornfield, and about 1,000 yards across the cornfield is a river, and the river where
Right
we
there.
got is the same river, but it's only like 3.5 miles out of town here.
Yeah.
That we got the other day.
Well, you got your water source, you got the cornfield, you got wildlife right there.
Very we have deer and squirrels running all over the yard.
We had an investigation to go on up in Cambridge Springs. I went up there with Mary Fabian, Debbie Preggy, and Beth. And this lady lived right on the outskirts of town. She's in town, but right on the outskirts, like you guys. And she actually did have seen a Bigfoot standing in the neighbor's yard.
Well, from my back door to there's a little woods at the edge of the yard, which is probably about a 2-acre piece of woods before you get to the cornfield. I found a tree snap in there. I was standing outside smoking a cigarette one night about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I heard a tree snap. I went out next morning. That's when I found the tree snap. I've heard them walking around in there. I've seen the shadows go in between the trees where the light source behind them are. And then one morning I got up and went out here in the backyard. About 18 foot out my back door, there's a fence. And just about 4 foot from the fence toward the door in the leaves was 2 footprints in the grass and the leaves all pressed down, and I tracked it. It went back over. There's an opening that it made in the edge of this 2-acre woods where it come in and out of.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. I know, Mike's camp out. When where we were pulled in up above and was camping, you know where we parked our vehicle.
Yeah, up on the corner up by Buckeye Trail.
Yeah, at the top though.
Yeah.
The food plot trails to the right of us.
Yeah.
Right in the corner, there is a wide opening. I'm saying, oh, that's maybe. And I'm looking in there. I didn't really see any prints or any real good signs. Well, Patty Fry got one on the thermal standing at the corner of my Blazer as I'm sleeping inside my Blazer. And then it walked around my blazer, and I'm pulled clean up to the weeds. Gwen's
Yep.
parked to the left of me, but she's away from the weeds. She's back a little ways. And walked around my blazer, walked in the front of her vehicle. She woke up for some reason, and she looks up, and her phone's dead, everything's dead. She looks up, and she can't see nothing but a black figure right there, and no head. But you can see the chest and the arms and that. And she's trying to get her phone and figure things out. So she looks up, it's gone.
That's the one that touched the back of her Bronco, wasn't it?
No, the night before.
The night before.
I had the handprint on it. Yep. Virginia asked, Tim, are you in a desolated area?
No, I live right in the edge of town. Norwalk, Ohio. There's probably 20,000 people in this city.
Oh, shit. Bigger than Sharon.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sized town. Bigger than the town
Johnny,
I used to live in.
Johnny Freeman got to run. He has a case he got to take care of.
All right.
Have a good night, Johnny.
Have a good night, John.
But yeah, like I said, up there in Cameron Springs, she's right on the edge of town, right inside the edge of town. And yeah, she's seen it. This lady drove me nuts, though. Talk, giving me a headache. Talk so much. And I'm sitting there going, oh, hell no. Hell no. But, oh, sorry to hear that about your Wi-Fi, Virginia. You shouldn't let it go out on its own. It should be escorted. No, her Wi-Fi went out. How dare it go out on her? But yeah. So
somebody tried to call me.
Oh. Now,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. I heard someone's trying to call you. Here's the thing. The ones you noticed around your new place, is it just a single one, or do you think it's a family pod, or what?
Say what?
Do you think it's the same one that left the
I lost
print?
sound.
Uh-oh. You might have to reboot.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. We can hear you, Tim.
I barely can hear you.
Somebody
tried to call me and screw my thing up here.
Oh, that ain't good. Here's something Steve Setzer had to say. You know Steve from the camp.
Yeah.
We try to make people get it. You don't need to be miles in the woods to have these encounters. He's 110% right. Most of the encounters, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, but most of these encounters are happening when people are walking a trail or driving down the road.
Yep.
So, and Steve's right. You don't have to be miles inland into those woods. You don't. Hell, I was right at the group camp area. You know how far in the Buckeye Trail I was when I had my sighting. I wasn't that far down that trail. And, so that's the thing. You don't have to be out in the middle of the woods walking around looking for it. You can be sitting there, have a little campfire sitting there. they'll come and watch you.
Yep.
See what you're doing.
Can you back me out, then bring me back in and see if that brings the volume back up?
All right, let me try. Okay, how's that?
It's still the same. They screwed my volume up on this somehow. I just barely can hear you.
Hit your volume button up.
Say what?
Try to hit your volume button up.
It shows it's all the way up, but
yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that other than maybe back completely out and come back in.
I don't know how to do that.
Just exit it. X out of it and then follow the link back in.
Okay, I'm trying.
All right. Yeah, we can hear him good. He just can't hear us. And he'll come back in. Steve, you're 100% right. We are the Saturday night movies to them. That's the thing. You know, I've been trying to tell people this right along. You don't have to be crazy walking all over through the woods. I'd go in the woods to see what kind of evidence I could find. I don't go in the woods to try to find Bigfoot. I'm trying to find the evidence to make sure they're in there. And hell, at Salt Fork Group Camp area, you're sitting around a campfire and they're watching you. Corky's research area. We were sitting down there. They were sitting up on the hillside watching us. Caught them on the thermal. They were watching us, seeing what we was doing around that campfire. You know, and we are the entertainment. And so, yeah, you got to think about what's going on around that area you're researching. Pick a spot. Make yourself known that you're there. You know, let them know that you're not there to cause harm. And they'll watch you. They'll watch you. All right, he's coming back in. How's that, Tim?
Yeah, now it's back up there.
Okay. There you go. I don't know what caused that other than someone trying to call you.
Well, they tried to call me on Messenger and it screwed me up.
Yeah. That would do it. But like I was just saying, and I know you didn't hear it, all you got to do is sit around a campfire. Just let yourself be known that you're there. They'll come and watch you.
Yeah, that's all I do is I go out to where an area close to where I know where they're at, and I just pull out a chair and sit down, watch and listen.
Yep, and you learn so much by that too.
Yeah, they'll find you. You don't have to go find them. Now, if you want to find evidence, do it during the day. But if you want to have interaction with them, just go find you a place where you've heard they've been and go sit down and be quiet. They'll come to you.
Well, this past Sunday, I went with Jamie King. We got a report. Actually, we got 4 reports there. And 3 of the reports were Bigfoot related. Sightings, the whole 9 yards. Class A's. But the thing is, they were in different areas, which is all in a close proximity of this guy's 88 acres. Plus a UFO on the other end. Oh, really? Well, I'll get back to you on that, Bev, here in a minute. Let me finish this. Um, this gentleman took us to each area, and Jamie and I both totally believed him in the whole 9 yards of everything that happened. He invited us to come back out and research whenever we want. And so me and Jamie talked about we're going to go twice a year and go that way. The water source is there. The food source is there. Plenty of woods to run in. Plenty of cornfields and stuff around. It's just prime. And
Yeah.
I seen some stuff in there that got me rethinking about structures. You've heard my story on structures, how 99% of them ain't shit. Well,
I won't hold that against you.
well, I'm rethinking that because a lot of them I did find they were natural.
Yeah, there's natural things that have feather.
But there's so many other reasons. It's just weird. But this got me rethinking some of the structures, and I'll be doing more studies of those structures up there. But it was just unreal. It just got Jamie and I both fired up for this thing. Very, very interesting area. Yeah. And some people hear us call it this, but it was a very squatchy area.
Very habitable area.
Exactly. A main highway runs right there.
Oh, they ain't afraid of roads.
Nope. And it's a main highway. Randy and Mary He saw that one down on Interstate 77.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
traffic covers their movement so they can hunt.
Yep. Oh, I bet you did. Shane had a few head scratchers. Now, Beverly, wait a minute. Let me scroll this back. Your two granddaughters have heard something's out in the back hillside tonight. Yeah. Like what did they hear? Was it a howl? A scream?
Whoops or
yeah.
Now I've had a whoop right here. The other night we was sitting out here smoking a cigarette. And it didn't do it real loud because it's only like 80 feet to that about 2 acre wood lot. Right. It went whoop.
Well, that might not even been right there. It might have been clean on the other side.
Yeah.
Now, Steve and Shelley had a young man out with them at my camp out. And they went to one area, and it's thick with brush there at Salt Fork. I ain't saying exact area because that's on them to say.
Yeah.
They had a good size one bluff charge them there.
I know where you're talking about. They've told me this about that area.
Yeah. And, so.
They also got a print there the next day.
They did?
Yep.
I don't remember that.
That 22-inch print that they showed there at the round table at night.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was the same area.
Oh, okay. So that sucker was a big SOB.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 22-inch. That's huge.
Yep.
I'm happy with that 7-footer I saw. You get a 22-inch print, that son of a bitch is huge.
He's at least 10 foot.
He's only 4'9" with the size 22-inch foot. Yeah, right. But yeah, like I said, you can go way into the brush and you can see them, or you can be right along the interstate and see them. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
All that print came from Morgan's Knob.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, thank you.
I thought that was the same area they had the bluff charge, just in the lower part of it.
No, he says they had more encounters at that beach too.
Oh.
Yeah. So, very interesting. Hey, I'm going to do it. Where's Morgan's Knob? If I tell you, I have to kill. No, Pepper. It's at Salt Fork. It's at Salt Fork. I'm sorry, Bev. I had to say that. Yeah, it's one of the areas there. Yes.
It's a walk hiking trail.
Bluff Charge was near the bridge. See, I wasn't going to say that, Steve. That's your guys' thing there. But thank you for sharing that. I did not want to say it out of respect, because that Shelly was telling me about it, and I don't divulge that stuff. That's the way I am, unless I get permission. And that, but anyhow, that's a courtesy thing for you. That's what I feel about it.
Yeah, it's respecting one another.
Yes. And now, where the old schoolhouse used to be,
Devil's Knob.
Devil's Knob. Now, we had some weird shit happening up there.
I ain't going back to that place. Not at night. Nope. That place made me deathly sick. There is something totally evil there.
I know that made you sick that night. When we went across the road, and they were getting this eye shine down over the hill, and they're trying to see what it is. I says, hold on, I'll go look. As I was headed closer, I hear something walking to the left of me. The road's to the right of me, but I'm inside the woods. And I hear something walking. Gwendolyn heard something walking. I'm trying to think who else was with us. I can't remember who else was there. But I'm getting almost down. Debbie, maybe. I think she was still across the road with you guys. But anyway, she might not have been. She might have been on this side. I don't remember. I do remember this. As I'm headed down, I'm hearing these steps, and I'm like, that's over there. I'm going to get a little closer, see if I can make out what those eye shines are from. That could be something laying there watching us, or that could be a small animal. This ain't looking right, because it didn't blink. I got maybe another 15 feet, and I hear, just get out of there. There's something walking, from Gwendolyn. I went, huh. I'm almost here. I'm going. And Oh, does it really, Nikki? I'm sorry to hear that. Her Facebook freezes during lives. Um,
Uh,
Now, I get, so I said, be quiet. I'm still going. Big Bad Bill, he's
yeah.
still going. Even though I'm hearing that over there, it's like, it is making me nervous. I get up as those reflector tacks that
Somebody's
hunters,
deer stand.
yeah, that to get into there where their stand is. I says, it's reflecting tacks. And so I turn and start walking back. Didn't hear that thing walking at all, but I'm ready to run out to the road. And I'm telling you right now, I'm ready. I ain't playing. Hi, Gary. Gary Overfield said hi.
Hi.
So, I don't know what it was walking with me that I couldn't see because I kept glancing over to see if I can catch it. You got in the vehicle and you were staying in there because you got really sick, like you got hit with infrasound or something. But everyone else, a couple other people start feeling weak, but they didn't get sick like you did.
Yeah, Michael and Preston Winston.
Yeah.
It affected 3 men.
I when you guys got it, I was out on the road up the hill. Now, when I went into the woods when we were up on the hill, I told Gwen to step in and take a look. This brush, all the tops were chewed off. And I'm saying it went for 35 yards or more long, as far as I could see. Boom. And over to where it starts dropping down off. Now I'm inside about 10 to 15 feet. Yes, that's soft work, Shane. So I don't know what chewed the tops off. A deer ain't going to sit there and chew everyone off. They'll chew it clean out.
What's something that weighs 700 pounds of just picking off the new growth, though, eating it? Yeah, they'd eat quite a bit.
Yeah. But I'm not saying it was it either because I don't know.
No, we don't know, but suspect of that meant that much of it ate off. They do like new shoots on trees and stuff.
Yeah. So, hey, Mr. Doug Waller's out there. I'll see you this weekend, Doug. He'll be speaking down at Cabela's there in Wheeling too. That's going to be it's going to be fun this weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
But when the weather turns bad, really cold, go to pine thickets.
Oh,
they
very
go to
much.
stay warm, and they also pick the little new growths off of them and eat them, and they will eat the inner bark.
Yes. Whenever I'm deer hunting, bear hunting, when it's super cold, you always head to a pine.
Yep. It's a natural wind block.
And all those dead pine needles brings up heat.
Yep.
For all you people out there that didn't know that, you need to know this. You definitely, two reasons I had for the pine groves. One to hunt, one to stay a little warmer than it is. Break the wind, and breaks the wind too. Now, which a lot of your sightings, Oh, Beverly, you got pine thickets all over your hillside, but you don't have deer there now?
Well,
Uh,
something's eating the deers up then.
that's one of the few areas that don't have deer, then. The deer population's starting to go berserk again, which means, Nikki, correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, they'll be eating more of them.
Yeah, when you see deer populations in areas drop pretty quick, there's pretty good sized clan in the area.
Yes. All right. Steve said they have found numerous scats with pine nuts in it. That
Yeah.
makes them believe it's a viable food source for them. Yes. I heard that they believe they do eat the pine nuts out of the pine cones. I
Yeah.
found in this one pine grove area out here, all the pine cones are piled up around the trees. None in the trails, none between the trees. They're all piled up around the trees, base of the trees.
Well, if you think about it, they gather them and then they sit down and it's this tedious thing, sit there and break them apart and pick it out.
Yes, that's where I was going with this. That's I've never seen that anywhere. All the years I've been in the woods, but there, and I'm trying to figure. And someone tried to say, "Well, squirrels stack them up like that." No, they don't. I've never seen that. Um, and I found out that squirrels do eat the pine nuts. Um, I heard porcupines do too. Different animals will eat that stuff. I don't
But
know if any animal is going to take days and days and days to pile up those damn pine cones around bases of trees.
no.
And I don't see any damn human doing that in this
No.
large ass pine grove I was in. That's a lot of picking to get to the nuts.
Now, if it was only like 10 or 15, I might say squirrels, but when it's 70 to 100 or more, nah, it ain't
Thousands.
squirrels.
I'm talking
It ain't,
thousands.
it ain't squirrels. Man, if it is, there must be about 60 or 80 squirrels in that one area.
Um, Nate Hinkson was out with me when we found that, and I got pictures somewhere. I'm not totally sure. It might be on that one. Um, Freshwater clams too, Steve. Steve says freshwater snails. Um,
Yep.
and freshwater clams. I found them up in the woods, the shells from the
Yep.
freshwater clams. Um,
I say
so
they eat a lot of them down there at Salt Fork.
yeah, and same out here at the reservoir. And, and they're not the only ones that do that out of the animals. I know that. So I can't say for sure it was them. But I can say for sure that it's kind of weird that you find those clamshells up in the way up into the woods.
Yeah.
Because most of those animals will not.
They eat them right on the shore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And thank you for saying I was correct on that, Nick. Now, where we were at Sunday, and the guy was telling us right near his son-in-law or his neighbor's tree stand, they found a deer carcass with the legs broke, the back legs totally snapped off and gone, all about the same precision area. Now, I don't know why they would take the legs. The lower, there's no meat on the lower legs.
Well, they probably broke him off somewhere else before they packed the deer there. When they caught it, they broke them off. That's usually how they catch them, by their legs.
Yeah, and then slam them against the tree or snap their legs.
Yep.
Beverly says, yeah, well, if they like fresh water, I have plenty of that in my backyard too. We find shells all the time. Good possibility, Bev.
Yep.
She lives in southern PA, southwestern PA.
Yeah, that'd be more like the terrain in Ohio.
Yes. Yep. And Don Ellebrand, he's north of me. He's out there right now. The one place that he researches got a very active area. And it's near water source, got good food source. It all adds up together with that. Yeah. Oh, Nikki says, pay attention to areas with moss. I found moss being scraped off of trees and rocks and sheets. I'm not 100% sure what's doing it.
Well, they could be using it for bedding. They could be using it to eat. Moss, if you put moss on the ground, it holds more temperature, so body heat than the ground.
That makes sense. But it'll take a hell of a lot of it.
Well, what else they got to do to stay warm?
True. Very true. I noticed that some areas with moss that they do had some stuff scraped off, but I don't know what did it. You can't tell. Yeah. I look close at it. That's a good idea to keep an eye on that. Hope in about 2 years, I'm planning a road trip. I got to get out down Nikki's way. If everything goes together right, I'll be going down that way. And check out down around her area. And believe me, wait. Steve says they seem to dig through the moss looking for frogs. And Bev says there's an area close to her that is full of moss close to the West Virginia Southern PA area wetlands. Well, yeah, you'll get a lot of moss near the wetlands for sure.
Yeah.
The one area I researched, they got a lot of a lot of moss build up on the rocks and stuff. And it's the area we call the farm, and because it does get pretty wet there.
Well, moss also collects a lot of dew and stuff, so it could be a temporary water source too.
Especially in the midsummer.
Yeah.
Definitely midsummer. I believe me. A lot of times midsummer when you're out researching, you're looking around for the water source, and a stream runs big time. With is running a trinkle. You like, okay, now we got to find more of a water source for them. And where you go a few hundred feet more where there's another runoff and it's running good. You just don't know. You got a natural spring or something.
Yep. Them is the areas that has like natural springs with running water is where you're going to find a lot more activity. Stagnant water is not desirable for them to drink. So anything that has a running water source is going to have more activity than stagnated still water.
True. And when I was up in the Alleghenies, with Gwen Purcell and I and a few others, we walked. It's a good mile from camp. There's this natural fed stream, and it was running good, and the water was crystal clear. And we did find a possible print down close there. What's this? It had that possible print, but it didn't have enough toe definitions.
Washed out from the rain or the water runoff.
Yeah, exactly. And Shane goes, he finds in springtime more evidence of Bigfoot tracks along and around swamps, bogs, and suches.
Well, yeah, they're gathering tadpoles and frogs and cattails. They eat cattail roots.
Yep.
That would be mostly before the greenage starts for their other sources of food, so they'd be eating more cattail root.
Oh, cool. Nikki said there was a white infant Bigfoot seen there a few weeks ago by a good friend of hers near her house. Nobody but her and her friend knows about it. That's awesome, Nick. Holy cow. That is awesome. A baby white one.
Yeah, they're Renee and them seen a silver one down there that night at the handicap. Renee and Debbie, a silverish gray colored one.
Yeah, I think that was an older one.
Yeah.
No, that's
now the older male down there at the area where we see all of them down there, Hosaks. The older male, he has a grayish beard. He's brown, but he has a grayish beard.
Right. Well, the one I saw, he's around 7 foot tall, and he was brown hair. Yeah. So, is he related to that one? Who knows?
They're all related.
Somehow.
Especially if they're in the same area within so many miles of one another.
I believe there could be a couple different family pods living near each other.
Yeah.
You know, I do believe it, especially down around that area.
Yeah.
That area is too active to be just a small group. There got to be several groups.
Well, down there, I've seen them in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've seen them in five, if not 6 different areas down there already.
Yeah, and that place ain't small.
No.
That's a huge state park, and I do mean huge.
And that's 32,000 acres.
Yes. So
that's more than, that's probably at least 600 acres to every square mile. So it's over 15 square mile.
yeah. Yep. Very much so. And it's one of the prettiest state parks I've been in. I'll say that much too.
Yeah. That's like the night we seen he had to be every bit 11 something, 12 foot up there at the handicap. Now, when we was coming back out of the park, down by close to the shooting range, as you're coming out of the park, one was chasing the deer, almost run the deer right out in front of our car, but the deer decided to turn and go down the side of the car and go around the back, and it ran right across the road right in front of the car.
Right. Yeah, you interrupted that hunt.
Yep. It almost got a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's the thing. But anyhow, it's almost 20 after 8.
Yeah, my phone's getting down to about 20%, and it was full charge.
All right, we're going to have to get on out of here.
And we'll have to do it another time.
Yes, we should. But Tim, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And of course, you and me will be talking again soon.
Yep.
Tell Renee we said hi and give her a big hug for me.
All right. Will do.
Everybody, thank you for watching, commenting, joining in.
Thanks for all the participation, and thanks for everybody that's watching.
Yep. And you guys all take care. And here comes the outro.
This has been an Agents of the Unexplained original podcast. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and view on YouTube, and please visit our store link in the bio. Thank you for listening, and remember that paranormal is